Okay, so the Denver Broncos, who you might not necessarily think of them as a team that desperately needs a safety or a secondary player, but actually, safety was a position of need for them. They have Brandon Jones, who's very good, but last year, PJ Locke had over 1,000 snaps for them. He was PFF's 90th graded safety out of 98 eligible guys. They wanted an upgrade, and so they went with Hufanga, who has had some very good years for the San Francisco 49ers, including the 2022 season where he had over 1,200 snaps and was able to be a very effective piece for them. The past 2 years, though, he has gotten injured in both of them, and that's, I think, what's hurting his drafts or hurting his value, not draft stock, but hurting his free agency stock as much as it is. It's a 3-year deal worth $45 million, actually up to $45 million. So we don't even know if that's all it is. $20 million guaranteed. So you can get out of this contract relatively easily, you would assume here. I think actually after this year, you probably could get out of it if you want to. And then after 2 years, you almost certainly could get out of it with like no issue if you wanted to. So yeah. I mean, it's a pretty low-risk move for Denver, who could use an upgrade here, and again, still has their safety from last year under contract, so if things go to hell, they can just put PJ Locke back in. Maybe it's not ideal, but they can do that. So, as a whole, it feels like it's a good move. What I do find a bit fascinating is Hufanga is kind of known for almost being, I feel like there's a lot of Troy Polamalu comparisons, and I think a big part of that is just like, looks wise, that's more of the comparison than anything else. But it is fair to say, I don't know if just being a coverage safety is really where he thrives. I don't know if that's what what you usually want with him. Although, if you're thinking, is there a scheme issue? Well, San Francisco actually would do a lot of similar stuff to what I think the Denver Broncos are going to have Hufanga do. It's not like this is coming from Baltimore where they'll have players do a lot of different things. Hufanga, he'll do different things, but he does play in more of a traditional role while doing those different things. The Polamalu thing is not a fully fair comparison, obviously, because that no one's like Polamalu only other than Polamalu. So I actually think this could work out pretty well. Again, more often than not, free agency signings don't work out. That's just the history of them. But this feels like a pretty low-risk move. They have an out if things don't work out. They have a backup plan if things don't work out. And if things do work out, they could have a really good safety for only $15 million a year. It's hard to be too upset about that if you're a Broncos fan. So yeah, I mean, I think it's something that definitely, I was wondering, is he going to go to a team like Kansas City, for example, who could maybe try to utilize his sort of unique playmaking ability? But no, going to a very similar system to what we saw in San Francisco, and he should be probably pretty effective in that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Hufanga to the Denver Broncos. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.